Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is understanding, understanding. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way?
Hey, good Sunday afternoon to you. I'm Brad.
And I'm Christa.
The Big Family Homestead. Honestly and truthfully, hope you're having a blessed day. We are here to talk about something that's a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's affecting a lot of people, and it's getting ready to affect more people.
Oh, yes.
But we don't do fear. We're just going to talk about it. And part of this, what's cool about having a live stream like this, is you guys can chime in. Your comments are recorded in the chat, and so be part of the solution. I don't like just talking about problems if we don't have a way to
Fix them.
well, at least have a path, some kind of an idea.
Right.
We may not be able to do everything, but maybe you come up with a few ideas, and I come up with a few ideas, and Ask Hermit and Kelly and Jen's Corner and Jesus is Lord and Phoebe. If we all come together with some ideas, maybe we can make it a little bit better.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't give a chance for you to say hi.
I said hi.
Did you say hi?
I did.
It's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
I was playing guitar in church. Yeah, I got pulled over for speeding today.
Yeah.
On the way to church. I was running late, and I was a little heavy-footed on the gas there.
That's why you're supposed to set the cruise control.
Anyway, I just felt like I had to confess. I don't know why. We're going to talk about food banks today and what it's going to mean for you guys and us and everybody and what we can do to minimize the problems. But this is a live stream, and so we talk about kind of whatever's going on.
That's true. That's true.
So
We're supposed to get a lot of snow this week.
we are
Yeah. Well, I think a foot over the week, but
quite
still.
the snow job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did get pulled over, and the guy was super cool because I was going a little quick. I was going 70 in a 55.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I wasn't paying attention. And
You were focused. You were on your way to church.
I was trying to get
you were
there 'cause I
thinking
was
about the
running late.
music. You were thinking about the music that you had to play today.
Actually,
You were-
that is true.
I know. Do you think I don't know you? We've been married how long now?
I was actually warming up my voice.
I have no doubt. He does it in the shower in the mornings, and then, which is a good thing because the steam from the shower actually helps to,
Yeah.
because the air is really dry up here. But
So, but anyway, he came up to the car, and he was a younger guy. I don't think he was. I don't even think he was 30. He was probably 28 or something.
was he a county or
State or highway patrol.
Oh, highway patrol.
And
You know, they usually have a bad rap.
he was super. Both,
No, and I'm glad. I'm glad he was really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said, do you know how fast you were going? I said, I think so. I think I was going. I might have been going like 60. He goes, it was a little higher than that.
Yeah, a lot higher than that.
And then he goes, well, where are you going? And he could see that I had a guitar strap and a guitar cable sitting right there, right next to me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, honestly, it's even funnier. I'm headed to church to play guitar in the praise team. And he goes, oh. And he was like, okay, cool.
We'll expedite this.
He goes, do you have a lot of tickets? I said, I've never gotten one. I said, I got pulled over once, but I didn't get a ticket in Wisconsin. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to expedite this. I'm just giving you a warning, but let me just go make sure that you're telling the truth. And we're good.
They found there's a warrant out for his arrest in
No.
3 different states. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
But it was my fault. I did it. I took full responsibility. Let me tell you what. Here's a really good thing. If you ever get pulled over, one thing you don't do is don't lie.
No.
They know. Second thing you don't do, you don't mouth off. You say, yes, sir. You say, excuse me. You say, yes, ma'am, if it's a woman. You use good terminology, and you know what? They appreciate it.
I've only gotten pulled over for speeding once. And that was, again, I was on my way to church.
Always on the way to church.
Right. We're in a hurry to get to God's house.
Well, yes, Steve Gunner, if they still have ticket quotas. I don't know.
No, they don't have that up here anymore.
They supposedly there was a law that was signed that they cannot do the gotcha
Yeah.
ticketing,
Trapping.
speed trap ticketing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's talk about something that's a little more. I don't know. I think it's important. I want you to read some of that article because this is an article that we saw, and we started checking up on it, and it's true.
Yeah.
Number one, but number two, it's going to not just affect the people in the UK. I hope you're listening to this.
Right.
Gina, I don't know where you're at. I know Phoebe's in Canada. I know Grandma's so happy. She's only a few hours that way
Yep.
from us.
Right.
So, hey, where are you guys from, by the way? As
Yeah.
Mom was reading the article, say
Yep.
where you're from. I know Gunner's in Michigan.
Yeah. So this article is specifically talking about a study in the UK. And actually, I think I'm
You can
going to
scroll.
move this over just a hair.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I touched the mouse.
I allowed the mouse touchage.
So
technical.
90% of they surveyed about 90%. No, they didn't. There were 550 independent food banks. Be quiet. 550 independent food banks that were surveyed, and of those food banks, 90% of them have shown to have increased demand. It's insane. The food banks are being overwhelmed by an unprecedented increase in demand amid double-digit inflation and the cost of living crisis. So, according to this survey published on Sunday, which would be yesterday for them.
Yeah.
By independent food bank, stop moving it.
I'm moving so where you can see it.
89% of these organizations have been on the rise in the number of people seeking support in December and January as compared to the same time last year. 80% of the food banks,
This is the big part.
right, reported that Britons who are asking for help are doing so for the very first time in their life.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, the very 80%.
Have never asked for
never done it
any
before.
assistance and now are.
Right. About 50% of these organizations covered in the survey also said that if demand increased, they would be forced to cut volume of assistance or refuse some applicants altogether.
Not good.
No, that is not good. There are definite folks in need.
Yeah.
All
and
over the place.
It's getting more and more. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like I said, I don't like to just say, hey, here's a problem. Isn't that stinky? So let's talk about it. If we know that inflation is on the rise, which we do,
Right. You guys are all seeing it.
well, and it's kind of like for us, and this is not intended to sound weird to our folks in Britain who are friends, UK, just because we tend to think we're insulated in the United States, and it's just not true.
No.
And one of the things that we've noticed is that when there are trends like this, it hits the UK usually first.
Right.
And then I don't know why. It just must be the
trickles
way
over
that
here.
money comes and goes, food comes in and out of the islands. I don't know why, but it seems like what happens with you guys all of a sudden floods over here and into Canada as well. The issues
Right.
now. So if we're seeing that you guys are having a hard time and it's getting worse, and people who are never, ever, ever would ask for help are asking for help.
Right.
Well, that's kind of like the canary in the coal mine.
Right. They would, a long time ago, they would go down to the coal mine, they'd take these canaries, and if the canary all of a sudden dropped dead, you better get out, because that means there's no more oxygen.
Or if the canary lives in Palestine, Ohio.
Oh.
Yeah, did I say that?
Yeah. No.
I did.
East Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West side's worse. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. Right?
No, yeah. It's like,
If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry.
funny joke, but not funny joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really tragic what's going on over there.
Yes. So, food issues. Here's a question for you guys. I will be the first to say that there is a food bank kind of food distribution place called Ruby's Pantry that is here, and there's several other locations.
A couple other states, yeah.
And we use it as often as we can find that we need it and then
Right.
it's there.
Right.
So we're not, just so you guys know, we're not saying that we're somehow above.
No,
'Cause
we'll go
we're
to,
not.
yeah.
If we need food from a food bank,
We'll
we're
go.
not too proud. I'm throwing up
No.
quotes. We're not too proud.
Right.
So I'm curious, are you guys seeing that where you're at, or maybe do you use help from a local food bank?
Yeah. We haven't been in a while. When we first moved up here, we really needed to use it, but it's been okay. God's providing, and
Wyoming Homesteader has got a great comment. This is why food storage is only a savings account. Yes. That is why you need to produce more than you need. Thank you.
yes.
So that you can share with those in need. You're actually hitting the nail on the head of exactly what we
you got
wanted
to our
talk
point
about.
already. That's exactly what we're
Can
going
you say that again in about 20 minutes? Because we were getting there.
we were going to get there. Yep.
Because you got to lay out the
Right.
reason why somebody needs to do that, and then tell them, hey, this is what you got to do.
Hence why we prepare and we do these things, because it's not just for when the zombie apocalypse comes.
The zombies.
Or an EMP hits, it's, bad weather or bad income.
We're getting ready to get some bad weather in
This
central
week.
Wisconsin.
This week we're supposed to have,
Like 20 inches over the 4 or 5 days.
something like that. I can't remember
4 or 5
what it
days.
was, but it's going to be snowing for several days here. So we prepare for those things so that we don't have to run out to the store, every day to buy groceries. And if your spouse loses a job, we have that to fall back on. So,
I know what I'm getting ready to say is probably going to ruffle feathers. Probably. And I'm sorry. I want you to hear that I'm not trying to attack anybody. It's just that I think that we're at a point in society that we have got to start calling a spade, and we can't just act like our actions don't have repercussion. And what I mean by that is I am not talking about an R or a D or an L in front of your name. This has nothing to do with the politics of whether you're a Republican, Libertarian, nothing in chaos, Ian, none of that. But here it is. Your actions in voting have consequences. Mm-hmm. We were at the grocery store today, and we went there just as a treat to buy a donut because I was traumatically assaulted by a police officer. No, I was not.
No.
He was super cool. We just wanted a donut. And then we bought a few vegetables, like nothing much.
no.
We got
a small thing of
Yeah.
blueberries, a small thing of raspberries, some bananas, apples, cucumbers, just some fresh veggies that, we just didn't have in the house.
And how much was it? $67.
I was going to say $67.
$67.
Yeah.
And I was standing there thinking to myself, who voted for this? Mm-hmm. Who voted for this? Because guess what? I don't care if you are a D. Okay. Honestly. But you got to understand, prices were a lot different before the current administration is in office. Mm-hmm. Gas prices were down. We were not in gazillion wars, and we were getting out of more wars. Mm-hmm. If you don't remember, what happened with those poor people in Afghanistan? Do you remember?
They got left.
Literally people hanging off the side of airplanes.
Yeah.
Elections have
Consequences.
people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$67 for a few vegetables, 2 bags of brown sugar, and a couple donuts.
Carrots and the brown sugar and the donuts were the cheapest thing in our cart.
Yeah.
The blueberries, I think, were $4 for the small little pint. And the cucumbers. And this was not the big blue box store. This was one of the local grocery stores. So it was, and this particular store always costs more money. But we just happened to be there. Ran into some folks from church, told them about colloidal silver, which was really good because their daughter's got pneumonia.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
crazy. And so here's the thing. I would encourage you that if you are a person who says, you know what, I voted for this administration, well, then own it.
right.
Own it. I'm not saying go and make like signs and stuff, because people would probably not be happy as they go to the grocery store and remember that person. No. But what I am saying, when I say own it, is that if you voted for that person, those people, these are their policies.
Yep.
This
Causing
is their
all of
doing.
this.
They did it. You can't act like, why are gas prices so high, when day one they shut off the Keystone Pipeline? That wasn't that long ago, people.
2 years.
That would have been online by now.
Yeah. 2 years.
All right.
2 years, 1 month.
Elections have
Like 3
consequences.
weeks, 2 weeks, something
It's just
like
how
that.
it is.
Yeah.
So the folks in UK, what can they do right now to alleviate some of this pressure? I would honestly say, whatever your budget is, maybe reassess what you're buying so that what you're buying can be more like things that will be shelf stable. Beans, rice, any kind of thing like that that is shelf stable that's not a chemical.
Right. Well, and, even if you found a good deal on potatoes or carrots, can them if you're able to.
If you don't know, ask somebody.
Right. Google it. Search
got
online.
tons of videos.
I hate saying Google it. I don't like that. I know it's a thing now, but search online for how to can potatoes and how to can carrots.
Yes.
I cannot remember. I think, I'm not even going to say. So I can't remember how they're canned because it's been a while.
You can.
I can, but
She's
I
pretty
can't
bendy.
remember.
You'd be surprised. She gets up on that horse like a limber little minx. Just claws her way right up there. She could can. There's a great suggestion that I want to highlight from At Peace in the Wood. We are working on a community garden.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, here's an idea. If you guys go to any kind of faith-based church, or if you just go to like a community thing that has a building and property, approach the people that run it and say, why don't we go ahead and take this half acre of grass, strip it out, put in raised bed gardens for a community garden so that we can help the food bank.
Right. I know our church has a food pantry, so.
Shri is saying,
not really.
I'm pressing
It's
the
okay.
buttons.
Yeah, so Monica's got another great idea. Grow microgreens in the windowsill.
Yes.
That's easy. Easy.
And cheap.
And you don't need a lot of anything. You just need a plastic tray to put it in.
Yep.
That's really all it is. So
a comment from Shri, and if you guys don't know, she's awesome. She lives in the UK.
Yep.
She's a believer, and she's not scared to say so, which is really cool.
And she's young.
Yep.
She's still in school.
Yeah. She's saying here about life in the UK, it's like they're trying to push people to buy junk food instead of healthy food because junk food is always cheaper.
It is. It truly is. We got 2 bags of brown sugar for $3. And the donuts were, $1.30 a piece, where the package of blueberries was $4.
Yeah.
And the bananas, I think, were 99 cents a pound.
Wow.
I remember when they were 29 cents a pound.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be like some kind of victory from the administration. Like,
Right.
yeah, look what we did. Wait a minute.
Yeah, look what you did.
It was $2 a gallon when you came in office. It was almost $5 for a long time, and now it's down to $3.30. Oh yeah, way to go.
Right.
You're really winning.
I'm winning.
You are winning.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
It's a race.
It's a race.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, Short Pants Bee Farm. They are there to make the rich richer, so they get big donations. All right. Let's see other comments. Ooh, here's a good one. Aquaculture. Aquaculture by Wyoming Homestead.
I'm trying to find the...
It's right here. Aquaculture gives protein and veggies all year. You know what? I have not been brave enough to do the aquaponics thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Right. We actually could do it in our garage. We could. We'd have to make some space, but we could do it in an IBC tote. We could do it in the garage. We'd need some lights because our garage is heated all winter.
Yeah.
So
true.
it never gets below, I would even say 65 degrees.
True.
When we don't run the furnace, it stays pretty warm. So we could try that.
Yeah.
We could.
Well, we actually do. Actually, now I think about it, we do have some aquaponics going right now. We have goldfish in our stock tank for our cows and horses.
That's true.
And they don't have a problem under the ice. Not a problem.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got 2 heaters actually in that stock tank because it's a 100-gallon stock tank. So we need 2 to keep it from freezing. And it's the cows. The cows or the fish, not the cows. The fish are doing great. When it's really, really cold, they kind of hang out near the heater and they do fine.
Okay, here's a question for you guys, and I would ask if you're watching, and this applies to you, type something in, anything. Yeah. Do you know how to preserve pressure can, water bath can, food? If you know that, say yes, I do, or check mark, or I don't know, heart. There's a lot of icons I'm seeing. The reason why I'm asking is because if you have that skill, why can't you share that skill?
Yes. Yeah, no, totally. Share that skill. That is such a huge that is a huge thing for people to learn how to do. Making bread, canning your own food. I mean, even if you're okay, I know I was afraid of using a pressure canner for a really long time.
Yeah.
But no, I use a pressure canner. It's not a problem. Actually, a friend of ours sent us the weight that will go ahead and jiggle the automatic weight, so I don't have to sit there and babysit it, but I kind of do. We kind of tag team just to make sure that it's not going to explode. But we can stuff all the time. We can our chili. We can all kinds of stuff. So.
Now, here's the reason why I'm asking that, because I'm seeing a good 30 names who are saying, I know how to do that. Yeah. Chicken Shoes, that's a fun name.
Chicken Shoes, that's great.
Annette knows how. Grandma's so happy. Michelle Mordebro. I don't know how to say that. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But here's the thing. Go to a feed store or a Tractor Supply or Fleet Farm, whatever your farm stores are, get your little piece of paper, and they all have a billboard where you can post, hey, I sell puppies, or I do this, or I have that. Have a class.
Yep. Want to know how to can?
Here
I
it
can
is.
help.
Canning, food preservation class. And I guarantee you will have people that will call you.
Yep.
U.S. Patriot 1791. Cool name.
Very cool. You could actually set up a time at
or church,
at a church or the local community center. I don't know what the fees are, but I think they're relatively inexpensive to have a community center get together kind of thing, so that people can learn how to can.
Yep. And that goes along with baking your own breads. Christa, she has been giving classes in the past on how to bake breads at church.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, guys, think about that. If you could do just a few things, I'm talking about taking the pressure off of the food banks, off your pocketbook.
Yes.
And less chemicals in your body. Think about it like this. If you had a couple chickens, wouldn't that be nice if you never had to buy 70-cent a piece eggs?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Just one or two chickens. Or maybe...
Or even quail.
Yeah.
You could keep quail.
What if you didn't have to, buy bread? If it was 1/10 of the price because you're making it yourself.
Right.
You're taking a lot of pressure off.
It's so inexpensive. Okay, so we were actually at the store, I saw the nice oat bread, the brownberry oat bread, which is my favorite. You eat it because there's nothing else. Anyway, it was $4.55 for a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
That's insane. Tomorrow, I'm making wheat bread. Done. So.
She's right. I'm wrong. I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
It is good for you. I just don't, I was raised on Wonder Bread.
So was I.
Actually, the generic Wonder Bread. We couldn't afford regular Wonder Bread most of the time. I mean, my parents, don't get me wrong, my parents provided very well, but it was always, we're conscious of what is being spent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Delaney B is here. She says, the problem is that most people just want bread, jam, etc., not the knowledge on how to make it.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
They're going to starve if they don't learn how to make it.
You got to think ahead, guys. We know what's coming. We see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
You guys, okay, here's the deal. U.S. Patriot 1791, One Hope, Elder Farmstead, Robert, hey man, Shree, Kelly, all of you guys, everybody watching this, you have been given a huge blessing today, right now. I mean, not just this, but no. You've been given a huge blessing, and that is this. Time. Right now, you know what's coming. So you've been given the blessing of, okay, what am I going to do with my time? Am I just going to go, yeah, that stinks? Or am I going to go get some beans and rice, learn how to make bread, learn how to do this, build community, Find people you can trade with. Oh, I'll do this if you give me some eggs. I'll do that. Oh, you just need the chicken coop cleaned out. Can I have a dozen eggs every week?
I'll clean that out for you.
I'll come and clean it out.
Yep.
You've been given the blessing of time.
Right.
So do something with it.
Right.
Don't just sit on your hands.
Right. Right.
And I'm saying that in love.
Right.
Because I love sitting on my hand. No, I don't.
Jeez. All right, Phoebe. Yes, I saw your comment, and I was going to get to that.
What is the comment?
So, yes, I misspoke when I said pressure cooker. I meant pressure canner, and there is a difference. So, if you're going to can food, you're going to use a pressure canner, not a pressure cooker.
True.
So, yeah, I just misspoke.
Wyoming Homesteader says the average person cares as much about food production as they do about fixing their car.
Yeah.
Which is what we need to change.
Right.
Okay? While I agree with you, I would also like to add, okay, how are we going to help them? Because if you have the knowledge, you'd be kind of a jerk not to share it.
Right. Right.
Right?
We need to take care of our community and help them to
So they don't
get through this rough patch because it'll
think about
hopefully it'll get better.
What's coming ahead. What happens next? What do you do?
You don't know. You have to prepare for the what if, and that's what we've been doing. And you have to prepare for when the what if supplies are gone.
True.
You have to be able to learn how. You have to be able to know how to grow stuff. Even if you just have a couple of plants in your windowsill.
You can pressure can nuts and flour. I'm sorry, I got distracted. You keep going, Mama.
I thought that was a dry canning, not in the water.
How do you do that? In the
oven? Yes,
So
like
you,
we do with
roast
lard.
them?
Well, it's
In the can?
yeah. You put the stuff in the jar
What?
and then put the top on, and then I've never done it because we always bag it up and vacuum seal it. Not vacuum seal it, but
heat
with Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers.
that's what they are.
Yeah. So we've never done that because for us, that would be a lot of jars. A lot of half-gallon jars. We wouldn't have enough space for that.
Well, if we did nuts in half-gallon jars, that's a lot of nuts.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That is a lot of nuts.
Of course, now my question, sorry, I got distracted. I really do want to talk more about
Tammy called it squirrel.
Yeah, I want to talk about other possible solutions. But with nuts, there's what's the rancidity kind of thing? Because they go rancid, right?
Nuts will eventually go rancid.
But if you
I don't know.
can
They
them, I'm
wouldn't.
sure that extends it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how long that would last.
Brad, don't experiment with that for the oven's sake. You're not nice, Shree. I'm nice to you. You can or you can get a manual vacuum sealer for jars. Vanessa,
Yes.
okay. Vanessa Homesteads. If you don't have that and you actually want to do the cheap route, you can get a brake bleeder for like if you're repairing your car and you need to get the bubbles out of brake lines.
Yep.
It's the same device. It's got a pressure gauge on it and a little hand crank like this. You can connect it to
Food Saver, the Food
Yeah.
Saver mason jar sealing
doohickey.
adapter thingy, whatever it is. Yeah.
And you can just bump, and then get a workout.
Can you dehydrate the nuts?
Yeah, sure you can. Sure you can. You can freeze dry them if you want to go crazy. You could. Why not? Kathia's here. She's from France.
Hello. Hey, wilderness woman.
Hey, Kathia, actually, you know what? Can you speak to... We see in our news that there's a lot of crazy protests, big protests, million people protests going on
In France.
over correct me if I got this wrong, but over the retirement age changing 4 years?
Two. From 62 to 64 is what I saw.
Is that really a thing that people are so mad that there's like 1 million people in the streets because benefits got pushed back?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can understand why people would be mad because you worked your whole life and now they're going to make you work another 700 days before you get what you paid for. I get it.
Yeah.
Read Elder.
We have been encouraging others to learn to store food, grow, and make bread. Can and make bread. So it's really, really important. Yes.
Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm looking at these stats right now. There's almost 250 people here.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say that at least a third of you guys know how to do this stuff, or else you wouldn't be here.
Or
it wouldn't
more,
be very
yeah.
interesting. Please, please, please find one person in your family who doesn't know how to do this. Teach them.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
say, you know what? Here it is. Here's how you do it.
Yeah, those family members that don't think you're absolutely crazy. So,
Or just not care.
well, yeah, but then they won't listen. They won't want to learn it if they
they'll
think
wait
you're
till they're
crazy.
hungry.
They'll wait till they're starving and then they're banging down your door. Hey, teach me how to can or just feed me. No.
Yeah. Vanessa says Rain Country uses a brake bleeder. Yeah, I think we might have showed them how to do that. Our videos, we got videos on that. They're like 7 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah.
It's simple. You just... But anyway.
It's hard. I can't do it. The arthritis in my hand, I can't. It's hard for me to do.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Other things, guys. If you can get a little extra food ahead, find these food pantries, because what's happening is a lot of food is getting thrown away by big companies.
Oh, my
because
gosh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'll have these pallets of food on, skids. And they load them onto semi-trucks. And then when they bring them out, sometimes they get banged up or whatever, something gets opened up. They will get rid of the entire pallet of food, even though it's like only affecting 1%.
Right.
And then just take that and throw it away. But they throw the whole thing away.
It's such a waste. Such a waste. There was a stat, I can't remember what it was, but that it was a large percentage of food that was being thrown away.
Wow.
Send those pallets over to food pantries then.
Yeah, or ask around, because a lot of these food pantries can do that.
Yeah.
Also, if you do have chickens, this is one thing that we do for our food pantry.
Yes. Ferment your feed. Right?
Oh, no.
That's what you were talking about?
No, the food pantry. Our chickens.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sorry. You have extra eggs. Yes, you can water glass them. You can dehydrate them, freeze dry them.
But there's a lot of people that need them.
There is a lot of people that need them. We actually give them to our food pantry when we have extras.
Yep.
So,
and if you make known that you have chickens, people will share the empty cartons with you, because that's the expensive part, really.
Yep.
Believe it or not, it costs more for the empty cartons than it does the feed.
Sure. Yeah, it sure does. There was a Tractor Supply. I want to say it was like $10 for 15 egg cartons. So I've got my a few friends from church that are saving up their egg cartons for me, and there's one gal that goes over to the Circle of Faith in town, and she buys them for me, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I load her up with eggs.
I want to read this because I have been curious about the protests in France. And Kathia is mentioning here something about it, which I think is good to see. The retirement system is different in France. All your career long, the government takes a percentage of your salary to pay the current retirees' pensions, no choice. And now they ask us to work 2 extra years. Yeah, it's very similar to what we have here. But I can see that if it's our system, it was supposed to be designed as a safety net just in case you needed it. But over time, it has become a demanded and expected
thing when you retire.
Retirement perk, not perk, but earned.
Right.
Yeah. Kathia says, we have our pension. If we don't have any money.
For these 2 years.
Wow.
And then it reduces what we get. Wow.
It makes a lot more sense.
I can understand now why there's a lot of people protesting.
Yeah. Chicken shoes. It's difficult to find someone to help. A lot of people already do this in Utah. Well, then, you know what? Jump on a chat like this and share your ideas. Honestly, here's an idea. Bam, bam, bam. We've only talked about 4. there's plenty of ways that you can either help somebody or store up food or save food or share food.
Right.
So that's the goal, guys.
Yeah, I think community gardens are a big deal. They should really be implemented and utilized. If you're in an apartment complex, especially, petition the apartment complex and see if you can have a community garden going.
Overwhelm them.
Yeah.
With,
yeah.
Hey, everybody in this apartment complex says they would like to do that. Chip in.
Right.
And you might make some friends in the process.
Oh, sure. Definitely. Definitely. And then you can learn to can together and process and, save all those delicious tomatoes and carrots and things that you grow.
And why don't you talk about the difference between the lifeless pink orbs you get as tomatoes in the store and the ones that come out of the garden?
There is no comparison. There is none. There is no flavor to the things that those lifeless pink orbs, like you said, from the grocery store. They're just nasty. Seriously, they're just nasty. But then the tomatoes that you get right off the vine as they've ripened on the vine.
Yeah.
Oh.
No beating it.
No, they're just, the flavor is so intense and just delicious.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
my mouth is drooling. I miss fresh tomatoes.
Well, it's time for dinner.
It is time for
anyway.
lunch, dinner, lunch, dinner.
We didn't have breakfast or lunch, so it's like late lunch, early dinner.
Yeah. Gosh.
So anyway, 2 more things, guys. I see there's almost 260 people here. So first of all, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for hanging out. Free music. I want to give you free music that I wrote and recorded. And it's not my words, though, because it's straight scripture. It's scripture set to music. And it's free. And tell them where they can get this free memorization tool that's actually not that terrible to listen to.
No, it's actually very beautiful. On our website, www.bigfamilyhomestead.com/shop. So you can find all of those songs there.
Yeah.
I think there's
13 songs
something
for free.
like that. Something like that.
And I'm working on more.
Right.
Actually, if you have a suggestion of a psalm or a scripture passage, put it in here. Because I have not. I'm going to start a new one maybe later today. And I have honestly no idea what I'm going to pick because I usually try to let God do that.
Yep.
So they're free. If you happen to like that and you want to support what I'm doing, because trust me, it's not cheap.
No.
You can't see all the doodads, but it's not cheap. Go to Patreon, and the Patreon page, you can download the free stuff there as well. And there's actually a lot more free stuff, like important books.
Yeah.
Like a library of how to do it books.
Yes.
There's in there. And that's, if you got a book, that would be great. It would really, really help out.
Yeah.
That, and tell them about the Bible Devo.
Yes, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m., not p.m., a.m. Central. Brad does a live Bible study. They just talk about Scripture, and right now you're in Zechariah.
Yeah.
And just they read it and they unpack it, and there's no debate on
We don't fight about
different
Scripture.
religions or doctrines and things like that. It's just what it says. So
I want to point out Rick Wilson here. Ever had a bad day that tests your faith? Today is one for me. Well, Rick, I'll tell you this. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. You're not alone.
no,
And you know what? God is faithful. He's not going to let you go.
right.
I can tell you from experience that there's a lot of stuff that just happens. Some of it is self-imposed. Some of it is just life stuff. But I know what it feels like when you're getting piled on. But I can tell you this, man. This is truth. God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He is a faithful Father who pursues you because he is absolutely in love with you. And he's done everything so that we can be with him eternally. And all we got to do is we got to receive that. We got to bring Christ into our life. We got to ask him, say, hey, I need some help here. He's not going to push you away.
No.
Hang in there, man. I'll be praying for you. So, that said, here's a song right now. Check it out. See if you like it. If you like it, go get some more free ones. So, hugs and kisses.
Have a blessed day, everybody.
Have an awesome day. Bye.
Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. But those who turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord will lead away with evildoers. Peace be upon Israel. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. As the mountains